They say snow swallows sound, but that night it swallowed an entire convoy. 5 military trucks, 15 armed soldiers, classified cargo, all gone, vanished into a white void without a single trace. What kind of force can erase men and machines from existence and leave the snow untouched? It was January 1974, the deadliest winter northern Albania had seen in decades. The Drin Valley was a place of isolation, steep cliffs, frozen rivers, and villages that seemed trapped in another century. The convoy's route was treacherous even in good weather, but that night, the snow was relentless. Witnesses in the village of Shkrel swore they saw the trucks pass just after midnight. The lead vehicle stopped briefly at the edge of the village, its driver speaking to an old man, shoveling snow from his doorstep. That man, now long dead, told his family the soldier asked for directions to a place he had never heard of. But here's the part that makes no sense. There was no such place on any map. By 3 a.m., the convoy should have been halfway to its destination. Instead, it vanished somewhere between Shkrel and the next checkpoint. The road was narrow, bordered on one side by a sheer drop into the frozen Drin River and on the other by dense pine forest. Search teams scoured both. The river was frozen solid. No cracks, no signs of vehicles breaking through. The forest showed no broken branches, no disturbed snow. It was as if the convoy had driven into the night and simply dissolved. 3 days later, a shepherd from a nearby hamlet reported seeing lights in the forest the night of the disappearance. Not headlights. He described them as orbs floating between the trees, moving in perfect unison. He said they pulsed, like breathing. When pressed, he admitted he'd also heard something, a low metallic hum that made his teeth ache. But here's the part that chilled investigators. The shepherd's description matched reports from a classified military file dating back to 1951, when a similar disappearance occurred in the same region. That time, it was a single truck. It too was never found. On the 4th day, search teams stumbled upon something in the forest, a single military boot, half buried in the snow. Inside was a human foot, frozen solid. The boot's serial number matched one of the missing soldiers, but there were no tracks leading to it, no blood, no signs of an animal attack, just the boot sitting in pristine snow. The investigation took a darker turn when the sole surviving witness came forward. His name was Arben Kodra, a mechanic stationed at the convoy's departure point. He claimed he had been ordered to ride in the last truck, but was pulled off at the last minute to repair a generator. Hours later, he received a garbled radio call from the convoy's commander. The voice was panicked, speaking in short bursts. "Lights everywhere, can't see the road, they're inside." The transmission cut off. When Arben told investigators this, they dismissed it as stress-induced fabrication. But privately, one officer admitted the recording existed. It was locked away in a military archive, labeled "Unexplained, Do Not Release." Weeks passed. The snow melted. Still, no trace of the trucks emerged. Then, in late March, a hiker exploring the upper cliffs of the Drin Valley found something impossible. A section of road, high above the valley floor, that appeared burned. The asphalt was blackened, warped, as if exposed to intense heat, yet there were no signs of fire damage to the surrounding trees. Soil samples revealed something even stranger, traces of a metallic residue not found anywhere else in the region. And that's when the theories began to spiral out of control. Some believed the convoy had been carrying experimental weapons and suffered a catastrophic accident. Others whispered about Soviet interference, secret tunnels, or even time displacement. But the most unsettling theory came from an elderly historian in Shkrel who claimed the Drin Valley was cursed. He spoke of an ancient legend, of a white road that appears only in winter storms, leading travelers to a place they can never return from. The historian's grandfather had told him of a caravan in the 1800s that vanished in the same stretch of valley. Horses, wagons, people, gone. The only thing ever found was a single lantern, still burning, sitting in the snow. But here's the part nobody talks about. 2 years after the disappearance, a fisherman downstream from the valley pulled something from the river ice. It was a metal plate, warped and scorched, with markings in a language no one could identify. The plate was confiscated by authorities within hours. The fisherman was told never to speak of it again. Odin Kodra, the mechanic, never stopped searching for answers. In 1981, he returned to the Drin Valley during another heavy snowstorm. He claimed he saw the lights himself, 3 glowing orbs drifting silently above the tree line. He followed them for nearly an hour before they vanished into the mist. When he returned to the road, his watch was 3 hours ahead, though he swore only minutes had passed. Locals began to avoid the valley in winter. Some swore they heard the hum at night, a deep vibration that seemed to come from the ground itself. Others claimed to see shapes moving in the snow, tall, thin figures that disappeared when approached. In 1996, a group of hikers from Tirana went missing in the same area. Their bodies were found weeks later, frozen solid, but with no signs of frostbite. Their eyes were open, their expressions locked in terror. The government sealed off the most dangerous sections of the valley, citing landslide risk. But those who live nearby know the truth. They say the road still appears during the worst storms, a pale ribbon stretching into the forest. And if you follow it, you'll hear the hum, you'll see the lights, and you won't come back. Decades later, the case remains unsolved. The official explanation is still severe weather and navigational error. But the files remain classified. The burned road, the metallic residue, the strange transmissions, none of it has ever been explained. Some believe the convoy is still out there, trapped in some hidden place, engines idling in the dark. Others think they were taken by something not of this world, and maybe, just maybe, the Drin Valley is waiting for its next traveler to lose their way.